on real stories of the Highway Patrol.
And you can just stow that you got pulled over because you were black stuff right now.
A state trooper is the target of a bad attitude on a Massachusetts highway.
Okay.
And do me a favor, check your attitude, too.
No.
Gave me written consent, nervous, wouldn't look me in the eyes. Looks like the gas tank's been on.
Texas troopers find telltale signs that point in all the wrong directions.
He's still pretty nervous.
An insane criminal threatens local police, and a Connecticut trooper steps in harm's way. These are the real stories of the Highway Patrol.
And everything's gonna be alright. And I just want to call you when you need me. I'm looking out for you. Ready with a help in your hand. When you need somebody, I'm the man.
We ride the roads and highways tonight with Highway Patrol officers and state troopers from Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Texas. Our cameras record the events as they actually happen on patrol. Our first story takes us to Massachusetts, where a state trooper stops a speeding tourist.
Okay. Sir, do you have identification on you, please? Are you from Massachusetts?
No, sir.
No, you're not?
Why? Why did you pull us over?
Well, the only reason I stopped you is to let you know you're going a little too fast down Bierce's Way, and if you're not familiar with the area, I can certainly understand why that might have been a problem for you. Okay, it's a posted 35-mile-an-hour zone. As you came out of that side street there, I happen to be coming out of it as well, and you accelerated up to approximately 50 miles an hour, okay? So when I first stopped here, you were moving around a little bit. You didn't stuck anything under the seat or anything I should know about, did you? You don't mind if I take a look then, would you? Okay.
Well, I can tell you now, we just got here, but
okay.
The only thing under that seat over there is my pistol.
Okay.
We traveled here, but I didn't stick anything under the seat.
Do you have the pistols under there now?
It's under my seat.
Step right up to the front of the car for me. Put your hands on the hood, okay? Miss, why don't you let me see where your hands are? And young lady, let me see both of your hands, too, in the back. Miss, let me see both of your hands. You have a valid permit to carry a pistol in Massachusetts?
I didn't know nothing about all that.
Okay. Young lady, keep your hands on the steering wheel. Come right over here, sir. Okay. Should do me a favor. Just turn around real quick. You got anything in here I should know about?
No, sir.
Okay. I'm going to take a little walk back here and have you take a seat. Keep your hands where I can see them. I don't want anybody moving in there. Put your hands behind your back for me. Just going to have you take a seat. This is just a precaution, okay? You don't have anything else in here, do you?
No, sir.
Okay. But you have a seat right over here. Sit down. What's this?
That's what he just told you.
Yeah, what are you doing with this in your car? You're driving it, right?
Yeah.
What else is in this car?
So obviously we don't.
What else is in here?
If you think something's in the car,
Okay,
check it.
walk this
Check
way.
the car.
Walk this way, please. And have you take a seat with your friend there, down here. And I will check your car.
Okay.
And do me a favor, check your attitude, too.
No.
You're driving around in my state with a
uncalled for.
handgun.
No.
It's uncalled for you. You should know better.
No, that's
so
uncalled for.
check your
You
attitude.
see-
What do you get in your pockets?
I don't have
Turn around. Have a seat. Slide over.
That handgun was, we just came all the way from Mississippi.
Okay.
And I just take that gun, all this crime and stuff is going. I got an ID, a permit in there somewhere. Shit, through my paperwork for the gun. And
For the gun from Mississippi.
yeah, it's from Mississippi. It's not from.
Okay, well, this isn't Mississippi.
You're right, but I didn't.
Yeah, I am. I think it's anything.
drugs on us either.
Well, I didn't find any unless
I know you ain't gonna find none.
Shut
You
up,
can
be
turn
quiet,
it
hold up,
upside
be
down.
quiet. It ain't all about all that, but that's the purpose of the
You
gun.
see black people,
That was the purpose.
Be quiet.
Shut up.
Don't give me that racial stuff, all right?
Just shut up.
Just shut up. Let them know I'm in court.
But
I
that
know,
was the
that's-
be
that's-
quiet. Just be quiet. But that was the purpose of the gun, officer.
Well, I'm sure you can understand, sir, when somebody tells me there's a firearm in a vehicle and they don't have a Massachusetts license, it's a little concerning. And you can just stow that you got pulled over because you were black stuff right now. I don't see that in here, sir.
Just be quiet. Just shut up. If it's not in there, it should be in my glove box.
Come on a vacation somewhere near this
Just
house.
be quiet.
We'll check the identities of the two females and make sure that they're all set. If that's the case, we'll let them get underway.
Where did you do my keys?
That's a good question.
Where's my keys to my car?
They're right here. You're welcome. The gentleman does indicate that he has a valid permit to carry in the state of Mississippi, which would be fine if you were in the state of Mississippi, but currently in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, it is illegal to carry a firearm without a permit to do so.
The suspect, who made bail that night, is sent for trial on charges of illegal possession of a firearm. Under new Massachusetts law, he faces a mandatory minimum 1 year in prison. He could be sentenced to as much as 5 years. The permit for the weapon was not found that night. The suspect is currently back in Mississippi.
We're en route up here to assist another trooper that has a false gas tank. He's requesting assistance. What's up?
I got this vehicle stopped here for a traffic violation. He said earlier when I first stopped him that he's coming from Harlingen, going to Houston. Gave me written consent, nervous, wouldn't look me in the eyes. Looks like the gas tank's been off. He says it hadn't been off on the first time I asked him, and here about 10, 15 minutes later, he's saying now that they put a fuel pump in the vehicle a month ago when he bought it from the dealership. But those scratches and everything are pretty evident and they're fresh. I mean, fresh. And
He's going to Houston now?
Right, he's going to Houston. He's just been arrested 3 months ago in Refugio for marijuana, 23 pounds. So he has a recent prior. He's still pretty nervous. We're just going to ask him to drive the car to the sheriff's office where we can look at closer look at the gas tank and possibly lower the gas tank and look inside of it.
No, come on, your boy. You still go.
Okay. Finally found it, man. I think they did that tank thing on purpose.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when you came up here.
All right, we dropped the gas tank on the vehicle because of the way the bolts look.
Right.
And there was nothing in it. We took one of the hoses off, looked inside. We didn't find nothing inside the tank, stuck it back up. The guy's still nervous.
Right.
So we started looking around some more. This cover right here is held up by a bunch of screws. Look right here that show little shiny edges on it. And these screws are repeated along the bottom side of this cover. They appear to have been off. No reason for it to have been off. He said he hadn't had no kind of work done to it. And after removing this cover, way at the bottom here, this little cover that holds the area, I guess the air inside for the air conditioning system and also the heater core, has a bunch of black grease inside there used as a gasket, I guess to hold the odor of the pumps inside. You see some handprints right there where whoever put it there was handling a lot of the grease and had put their hands or some kind of object on the carpet. We removed some of the screws, opened it up, and you can see the gray duct tape bundles all inside the heater core area and possibly inside the firewall area of the AC system, which you can see from the hood area.
Let me pull that.
Okay. Yeah, they
God. Dang, man.
Yeah, I'm cutting one of the bundles right now to examine the evidence. It's plain to see that it's a green leafy substance. They got some kind of oil or grease. That's going to be grease again, which they wrapped over some plastic, some foil paper, and then some more plastic. And this grease is lined inside it, possibly to try to hold the odor in the bundles for a harder detection. Real strong odor of marijuana. And you can smell this. That's going to be motor oil that's in there, mixed with some kind of grease. And I believe the other bundles contain the same substance. Placed in there pretty tight.
I'm going to have him put them in there.
John, I don't know if they're doing that gas tank business.
The suspect was charged with felony possession of marijuana. There were 20 pounds of pot found in the air conditioner vent. He faces up to 5 years in prison and $10,000 in fines. This was his second arrest for this offense in the last 3 months. He was released on $25,000 bond.
You bought the vehicle today and you already have someone else's stuff in the car?
Next, questionable cargo raises suspicions on a Utah highway. Coming up, a local police officer under attack, and a state trooper steps in harm's way.
I'm the man.
The car pulled over here, so we're going to stop and back him up, see if he needs any help.
Were you eating?
Yes, sir.
I was wondering, because you're going like that, and you're in the left lane going slow. Traffic was passing you on the right, and then you're over in the right. It seemed like you were riding your brakes a little bit, so I was concerned about your driving. That's why I stopped you. You need to pay more attention to your driving, less to the food. If you have to pull off and eat off the road, but don't try eating and going down the road.
Yes, sir.
It's a deadly combination, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me check on your license. I'll be right back. Are these your knives here?
No, sir. You know what? Those are in the carbon wood stuff.
You bought the vehicle today and you already have someone else's stuff in the car? Do you have any other weapons in the car?
No, sir.
Okay, if I take a quick look. Okay, we got a lot of traffic, so I'd like to have you have her step out and then you slide out and come out this side, okay?
Yes, sir.
You don't have nothing in your purse, do you?
Oh,
You know what? When I got in the car, I noticed
just
the things when I go down.
just make sure.
Marty left his damn stuff there.
Okay. Okay, can you slide on out this side?
Yes, sir.
You need shoes?
Ben, is this yours?
No, it's not.
This is your purse?
That's my new purse, yeah.
That's your new purse? It's sitting there just like that. I'd say that. Okay. If this is your purse, and if it's a new purse especially.
Well, I just got the purse 2 days ago and I haven't really been using it. I mean, I just...
A little bit of marijuana. Okay. Do you have anything in your
No,
pockets
sir.
like that?
No,
Okay.
sir.
Hey, you don't got nothing sharp in here. I don't want to cut myself.
No, sir.
I hate
I'll pull them out if you'd like.
Okay. This is just a guitar? Okay. Put this in here.
Nothing under the guitar?
And the file's just used to sharpen them?
Sir, I don't even know. Those were I can get a hold of and tell him. He'll come and tell you there is.
Okay, you don't know.
Carving that piece of manzanita or whatever that damn piece of wood is. He wants to put turquoise and stuff in the little holes right there and stuff. Yes, sir. I don't mess with that.
Did you go through the rest of that purse? There's the papers.
There's papers for it. Rolling papers and marijuana all seem to go together. Oh, you got another pocket here.
She has a bad back for those, sir.
Okay.
Those have to be in a prescription bottle. They cannot be in a plastic baggie.
It's a anti-inflammatory muscle relaxer type thing. It makes my back stop hurting.
Now, okay. If the law states that all prescription medicine has to stay in the bottle. You can't mix them from one bottle to another bottle or put them in or several in one bottle. You have to keep it in the bottle that it comes with so that we can verify. Because see, this doesn't have your name on it.
Okay, well, you can call my doctor's numbers and stuff.
Okay. Utah is a zero tolerance state on drugs. We don't tolerate any drugs at all. Possession of drugs is a Class B misdemeanor with a small amount. It'll be higher on the fine, but the bail is $200.
How long is it going to take her to get back out?
You got the money.
For you to post 200 exactly in cash.
Babe, give me a kiss.
10 minutes?
Give me a kiss.
She was very unhappy with that gentleman. So I'd have a tendency to believe it's probably his, but she's willing to take the fall for him. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, you can't prove it's his if she's holding it, unless she says something.
The police were unable to determine who actually owned the pot. The young woman was charged with possession of marijuana. She was released on bail but did not appear in court. She now forfeits her bail, and a warrant has been issued for her arrest. She had no prior criminal record.
Next, from the official record of the Connecticut State Police, the story of one trooper's heroism in the midst of his own personal tragedy. We thank Sergeant Richard Sealander of the Connecticut State Police for portraying himself in this reenactment of actual events.
Sergeant Richard Sealander has been a Connecticut State Trooper for 23 years, ever since leaving the military. Now he's working out of the Public Information Office, coordinating educational programs within the department. His wife, Sandra, is a registered nurse. She just dropped their son, Eric, off at home after school. Now she's on her way to a video store.
We just got a call. Sandy's been involved in an accident.
The kid, is Eric with her?
I don't know yet.
Where are they taking her?
To the Johns Memorial Hospital. Want me to go there with you?
No, thanks.
Sure?
I'm all set. Yeah, thanks.
All right.
Hartford police officer John Strykars is taking Mike Palmer to jail. Palmer has 2 outstanding warrants. Sergeant Scott O'Mara goes to the hospital to be with Sergeant Sealander as he waits for news on his wife's condition.
How's she doing?
Not good. I'm going to call Eric.
All right, we'll be here. Okay.
During the attempted escape, the suspect cut his head on broken glass. Officer Strykars thinks the man may need stitches and takes him to a Hartford hospital.
Well, let's have a look at
Get your hands off me, man. Don't want no doctor.
Man, we gotta get you stitched up whether you like it or not.
Let's go down, Carl.
She has head and internal injuries. We need to operate, but because her brain is small, we can't do that right now.
What are her chances?
We don't know. We just don't know.
As the officer hears about his wife's condition, the suspect goes to have his head wounds treated.
Get his cuffs off and get him into a hospital gown.
We don't know yet, Eric. She's still unconscious. Her pelvis. Yeah, she just had a CAT scan.
You ready to go yet?
A Connecticut hospital under siege by a crazed gunman when we come back.
We just got a call. Sandy's been
After learning his wife has been critically injured in a car accident, Connecticut State Police Sergeant Richard Sealander rushes to the hospital. At the same time, a Hartford police officer has brought in a prisoner who tried to escape.
I'll call you back.
The suspect was found guilty of first-degree assault and sentenced to 10 years in prison. Sandra Sealander was in intensive care for 2 weeks. She suffered hearing loss and damaged eyesight, but has since returned to work part-time. Richard Sealander received a citation for bravery and the Distinguished Service Award from the Hartford Police Department. He retired as a lieutenant and is now an internal investigator for a large multinational firm.
Dangerous spots on any highway is a construction zone. These areas often contain detours, changes in surface conditions, and narrowed lanes. And usually the people in most danger are the highway workers. Many are on foot, only a few feet from passing traffic, and yet speed limit signs are all too often ignored. The best advice for driving through a construction zone is offered by highway workers themselves in the familiar slogan, "Give 'em a break." That's B-R-A-K-E, as in slow down.
Welcome to the New Jersey State Police Museum and Learning Center. There is a 1930 Buick touring car, which was an original trooper car purchased by the New Jersey State Police for patrol purposes. It is completely restored
exactly how it looked back during that decade. We also have a 1991 Caprice. That happens to be a working display. It's a very popular display for our visitors, especially the school children. They're able to sit in a New Jersey State Police Trooper car, push a few buttons, listen to simulated radio transmissions, listen to a trooper describe the vehicle itself and tell them what the car is all about.
From the men and women of the Highway Patrol and state police agencies of America, thank you for watching.